We do that before the just cause interview. Under Weingarten, we have the right to have a pre-meeting with the carrier. So we must insist, first of all, before we can have the pre-meeting, we must go to the supervisor that's conducting that just cause, and we must insist on knowing exactly what the grievant is being charged with. Most of the time, they'll give you a good answer, which you can also follow up with follow-up questions and come to a pretty good idea of what that just cause interview is going to be about. We must then insist on a pre-meeting with the grievant. If any of these two things are not willingly given by management or denied, we must warn management then that we will stop the just cause interview at the crucial questions which actually reveal the specific nature of the accusation, and then we will insist on a pre-meeting with the carrier. You have every legal and contractual right to do this under Weingarten, page 17-7 of your JCAM. And I've done this hundreds of times. What can you say? Well, respectfully state, Mr. or Mrs. Supervisor, since you are now just telling us what this is about, and I didn't have a chance to speak with the carrier prior to the just cause interview, we will be stepping outside. Get up. Just get up and start walking out. No matter how much that supervisor rants and raves, you cannot get disciplined. You are in a protected activity status, and you do not have to follow management's instructions while you are carrying out your steward duties. Just get up confidently, call the carrier over. Naturally, they will follow your lead. Now you can step out of earshot or perhaps step into another room and have that pre-meeting. If the next question they ask is also of a nature that you have not had the opportunity to prepare for, guess what? Just repeat the process. Tell the supervisor, well, you never told us this was about. Now it's about an accident or a dog bite. I haven't had the opportunity to have a pre-meeting with the carrier. And again, confidently stand up, call the carrier over, and walk out. What's going to happen? The first couple times, it will be a fight. Eventually, management's probably just going to give you a copy of the questions before you meet with the carrier, or at least give you sufficient time after telling you what it's about to talk to the carrier. Happened hundreds of times. You must insist on that. The next good defense tactic, since now you've enforced your Weingarten right and earned that pre-meeting, is to assist them in answering the questions at the just cause interview. Management's going to say, well, you're only here to witness, you can't talk, you can't answer for the carrier, yada, yada, yada. Again, page 17-7 of the JCAM states, in a Weingarten interview, the employee has the right to a steward's assistance, not just a silent presence. The employer would violate the employee's Weingarten rights if it refused to allow the representative to speak or tried to restrict the steward to the role of a passive observer. Sometimes disciplines have been overturned on the misconduct of management during the just cause interview. So, now how can you assist the carrier in answering questions without being guilty of answering for them? You see the difference there? Now, sometimes, I'm not saying you can't answer for them. If management allows it, and they write down the answer as if it came from the carrier, even better. But I will teach you how to do this without being guilty of answering for the carrier. If the carrier obviously gets stuck, is forgetting, or beginning to say something incriminating, you can always say, well, can you hold on just a minute? I need to write this all down. And you're there pausing the just cause interview, aren't you? You're giving the carrier a time, breathing room to perhaps recalibrate and rethink what they're saying. A lot of the times, that's also appreciated by management because they haven't been able to write everything down. You can also ask for a timeout anytime. Perhaps things are getting a little uncomfortable in there, the carrier is getting upset, you can ask for a timeout. Let's just take a couple minutes here. Let's step out. The carrier's having a rough time right now. Another good opportunity to coach the carrier. Next, you can lead the carrier. And this is where the art comes in. You can actually, because you've earned that pre-just cause, because you know what they're going to say or what they should say, you can say, well, didn't you tell me outside that this day you had flu-like symptoms? Remember that? Or perhaps a child health emergency, child health issues, or any other mitigating circumstance. And this can work on any subject, not just attendance, but you can always direct the carrier by saying, remember outside when we were talking during the pre-just cause meeting, you told me this or that? That can definitely help. Take the opportunity to put words in their mouth that the carrier can just easily regurgitate to management if management is insisting that the carrier is the one that needs to answer the question. So you're doing this for every question. You're doing this, you're helping, you're assisting, you're not just there to witness and to be a silent observer. Once you finally